Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another weekend edition here of the WardiTV Monday. WardiTV Monday number 50, your weekly dose of WardiTV action. I'm, of course, your VIP with you. I'm joined by these amazing players, by the Puma Chats and by the plushies as well. Welcome, one and all, to our first series of the broadcast. Exclamation mark, be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked, and the bracket is ready to go. Here we go. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Tugmac, we have the South Korean Zerg player, we have the Red Zerg representing Weibo Gaming. It is SHIN. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the Blue Zerg player, we have the South Korean Zerg. It is choigalaxy. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our ZvZ. choigalaxy. As I quickly set up our lovely player here, Blue. Okay. See, it's Blue. Bam. Beautiful. Here we go, as we have our initial ZvZ. When it comes to this bracket, after this series, we'll be going over the challenge bracket ourselves. We'll be catching up with what matches are going on and where our series will lead us. For those that are curious, for those that may be tuning in for the first time, typically when it comes to these open brackets, we do stick with a player and we do kind of follow them further into the bracket and into their following matches. So if you see some interesting series on the other side of the bracket, most likely we will not be covering them. But for WardiTV Monday, it is one of the more unique tournaments where both semifinals are held and both semifinals will be casted, so we will have that at least, getting to both semis and then leading into, of course, the grand finals thereafter. Till then, though, we are in the first round, in the round of 32. For now, we do have our standard openers. So far, hatch, gas, pool, nothing too crazy, nothing too wild, not yet. Coming into the SHIN is going to be a heavy favorite player. Meanwhile, shout out to choigalaxy, who is a tournament organizer, has been running tournaments, has been running some invitationals and some open cups as well, and I believe has had his hand in streaming and potentially, I think, even commentating as well. So choigalaxy has kind of stepped into the ring as a content creator in recent times, not too much, but every now and then again does host a tournament and does cast in Korean. So we got a caster against our player. Let's go, baby, let's go. So now we are going to be selling in. Of course, again, SHIN is going to be the heavy favorites. We'll see what choigalaxy can bring to the table. I do hope they can try to trip SHIN up in some way, shape, or form. For now, everything's looking normal. We don't have any excess gas being mined. Looks like both players have pulled out. Both players are going to be selling in. We have actually featured choigalaxy in our amateur tournaments. I believe in MSO, Master Swan Open, the most recent one actually. I believe choigalaxy did compete. I think he made it to the semis, if I'm not mistaken. I think he went all the way to the semifinals before being knocked out. So we were able to feature him earlier in the month, but now we do have our link slipping in for a full scout. Does get confirmation. Again, we're checking for gases, we're checking for early Evo chambers, checking for early tech structures, checking for droning, as already one drone goes down. Ooh, that should not have happened. One drone does fall, thankfully not another, but already a good start for SHIN. It does have a good start. Now things to pick in. To pick in, to pull away. And we do have our initial, early lair to SHIN. Okay, so SHIN, he did get a third base on time, on location, like as to be expected. But from here, rushing into a lair, we have gases on the way, we have our Evo chamber and Roach Horn as well. So SHIN, he's building up in towards the mid game, in towards Roach play. Meanwhile, we can see choigalaxy playing similarly, but he is staying on two bases. He's walling up and walling off on two bases. So with this, he can set up into a two base all in. SHIN, because of his more standard opener, will have the economic lead. He will have the economic lead over his opponent. We'll be able to saturate, we'll be able to drone on up, build up his third base, have an excess amount of workers, with that have a larger army. As the game goes on, it's going to get worse and worse for choigalaxy. choigalaxy does have a choice. He has the option to go into a Spire. He's taking all four gases. He could go for a Spire and cancel the upgrade, but because we have +1 range on the way, and because we started quite early, it is indicative that choigalaxy intends to commit into Roaches. later third base now being taken. choigalaxy can turn this into a 2-base all-in, or he could actually start to drone and expand and saturate his third. But again, the pressure is going to be on choigalaxy to actually make use of this army. Otherwise, he is behind and he will fall and stay behind. So the pressure is on the blue Zerg, as SHIN has a comfortable worker lead. It's up in workers, mining gas. With that, there is going to be a small window in time where choigalaxy has +1 over his opponent, but it's only a couple of seconds. So again, not the biggest window. This here is going to be shut down. And we didn't really get to see too much here. We confirmed the Evo chamber at least. We confirmed no extra gases at them in the main. And SHIN is already just producing roaches. Like, again, he's on 41 workers, up in workers now. He's just purely making roaches. He's pushing out. He's going to hit with +1. It's going to be a terrifying army here for SHIN. And choigalaxy is going to have a hard time defending here. It is going to be a tough hole. Now, he will have queens to help defend. He'll have transfuse, potentially spines. But so far, there are no spine crawlers. No overlord in position either. So overlord's out of position. choigalaxy does not see the move out, doesn't see the army. And here comes SHIN. SHIN is pushing. SHIN moves out. And he will hit the third. He'll hit the third base. So far, zoning away, getting on top of the third, takes down the queen. Queen goes down, and again, there's just no saturation here. There's no economy, there's no army. And choigalaxy is just being overwhelmed. Unfortunately, he chose to stay on 2 bases. He chose to open up 2 base, didn't turn it into an all-in, and like, as we mentioned, he just fell behind. He fell behind, stayed behind. GG gets called. And SHIN, he will take a lead in the series. GG. Clean play there out of SHIN, able to just take advantage of his opponent by getting the faster third base, joining up quite freely and saturating. You could argue that maybe SHIN took a bit of a chance there, or took a bit of a risk, just because he may not have been fully aware of how or when we'd see a move out from choigalaxy. But again, choigalaxy never did push. He was playing a more quote-unquote macro-oriented despite his more inefficient opener, and GG. GG, well played. With that, we're now getting into game number 2, going to be loading into ley lines, and we'll see what choigalaxy brings to the table. We'll see how he does mix things up. I'm hoping that he does diversify a little bit here, hoping we don't see once again 2-base roach, or if we do, we could just send it and go for a 2-base all in. Just saying, we could just send it. We'll see. We shall see. So we're getting into ley lines. Yo, meanwhile, big shout out to Rowdy. That's the Rowdy, papi. Good to see you, good to see you. And also a big shout out to Luis GGG in the chat. Papi. Thank you so much for the raid of 24. Hope you had a great stream, hope you had a great ladder session, hope you had a great time. Bienvenidos, papi, bienvenidos a todos, as we are still in the beginning, the early rounds of the WardiTV Monday. This morning, in the top right-hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is SHIN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Blue Zerg player. We have the South Korean Zerg down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is a choigalaxy. We go. And so far, we do have our initial openers here. We do have SHIN going for a 15-15. Likewise, choigalaxy just going for a regular hatch gas pool. I think so far looking normal. So don't forget to hydrate, everyone. Don't forget. And again, once again, we're going to be looking at mainly choigalaxy to see if he does go for the same build. We'll see if he does stay on 2 bases and turtles up. Once again, if he does do so, there are options. There are different kind of builds that you can go for off of that. You don't have to get a 3rd base and try to macro out of it. You can turn it into a 2-base roach hole in. You can turn it into 2-base muta, gain map control, then expand and take it or catch up economically from there as well. Right, there are options available here to our Zerg player if we open up 2 base. Now then, moving out. Everyone's being sent across the map. Likewise, Shin, we're kind of less, for the most part, we're expecting Shin to play more of the same. You know, just hatch gas pool, third base, drone up, then get into roaches, and react to whatever he scouts. Don't know if he's really one to dictate the pace of the game too much, but we'll see. Against choigalaxy specifically. As choigalaxy does not pull out of gas, interesting, so you will have a little bit more excess gas than normal, and oh, we see why it all comes together. So I did notice here that we're staying with 3 in gas. It is standard to pull 1 out. So if you're going into Ling Bane, the fact that we're staying in is indicative here of further tech of an earlier Roach Warren. So we do see choigalaxy committing here into an early Roach push, into potentially an early Roach all-in. The Queens are in position to deny the scouts. Oh, yeah, Lings, they do not make their way in. Shin, he rotates, he's going down. choigalaxy does miss it. Does miss the block. The Ling does put it in. The boys are being pulled to deny the scout, but no, Shotty won't be able to. We get a full scout, we get eyes on the Roach One. Roach One is almost done. The Ling does confirm, and now Shin, he is aware. Back at home, he knows to produce army, to not over drone. 6 roaches are on the way. choigalaxy, he's not droning. He's not droning, he's not saturating, he's making nothing but roaches, and he will soon move out across the map. And the problem is, Shin knows. Problem here is that Shin, he knows, he knows, he is aware. It's going to be a Roach all-in with Ling reinforcements. That's why Ling speed is still being researched. Shin, the Baneling, is going to be ideal here to shut down those Lings, just to make sure he does preserve them and he doesn't waste them on the Roaches. Shin is massing up and moving out. With that, he will dive in for a surround, catching out some of those Roaches. 1, 2, looks to be 3 roaches going down. Baneling's rolling in as well. And he's throwing away the Zerglings. Oof, brutal connections. Zerglings do fall. Ravager looks like will be surrounded, but does survive. And what's important here is that Shin still has a better economy, still has more mining, and he's forcing these fights out in the open, out halfway across the map, ensuring that he has time to respond. Again, it's still all or nothing for choigalaxy. So all or nothing. Up. Things gonna be thrown away. Nice target firing here on the Baneling. Despite that, one Baneling still connects. And with that, Ling's gonna surround. They get a full surround here. They shut down the Roaches, the Ravagers, the everything. choigalaxy will lose his army, and alas, that's gonna be all he had. So brutal trying to build up that Roach count once again. He's trying to expand, going for a third base. No shot. GG, well played. And Shin, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on as he's being wished some best of luck. And Shin will make it through into the round 16. GG. GG, well played, congratulations. Shin, he will claim this series, he will advance on. A shout out to choigalaxy for at least showing off some different builds in Game 1 and Game 2. Game 1, we saw some attempted more macro play. I say attempted just because he still opened up 2 base. Game 2, we saw a Roach all-in, and we saw that choigalaxy, he was trying to deny the scouts. He had the Queens in position, but they were dragged out of position. They were pulled out of the ramp. We saw that Shin, he was able to double back, able to slip into the main base, and he got a full scout of everything, and he confirmed the all-in coming his way. GG. GG well played there. Solid scouting, solid reaction out of Shin. He does take the series, and with that, we are going to be following Shin into the next round. Question is, where are we headed? Let's find out. Let's find it together. Exclamation mark and be in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. Let us switch our scenes over and catch up on the bracket. Okay, from the top, we have Hero. Hero, he is waiting for the winner of Lelix and Triple, waiting for the winner of that PvP in the round 16. Meanwhile, Shin takes down choigalaxy, Classic takes down Reciprocity, and we do have our next matchup. This is what we were waiting for. This is what we wanted. Up next, we have Classic versus Shin in the round of 16. That is our next series here in the brackets. Oh boy. So let us quickly set up, and that is the reason why we dove on the Shin series, is because we saw that it was going to lead into Classic, and that's a spicy one, papi. Let's go.